The air cools, yeah. The blocks are actually, line board, and they start cutting out of tolerances, and they reline bore them, and cut the cranks, and then maybe put enough oversized bearings in them and stuff like that to keep everything right in spec again.
Good evening, everybody.
And for you guys. So no more.
What are you talking about, 75? Well, I'm hearing some IMD. It's not really bandwidth. It's buckshot.
He's using a 528E directly into his modulator, which I think is a big part of the problem.
What did you get? What do you mean, noise level? I mean, radio-wise or noise level outside-wise?
Hey, Perry, they played Buck Buck? Ah, you never heard Bill Crosby? I played it when I lived there in South Philly.
The Buck Buck is like even before my time.
And three guys bend over with their head to butt to stomach and all that. And you kind of try and jump over them. Yeah, kind of. We sound any better on your radio? We did a bunch of mods on this thing. I heard a recording. I still don't like the way I sound. Yeah, okay. Very good. I was just wondering, you're talking about airplane engines. Just curious. Was the block sleeved, the cylinders sleeved, where you can pull them out and change them?
We wouldn't do that. That's something only the manufacturer would do.
No, okay. I was just curious if they had sleeves in the cylinders.
You know what? That's beyond what I know.
Well, I thought you knew everything.
See that? We're at the city limits now.
I guess I kind of stumped him. Yeah, we did a whole bunch of mods that I didn't do, that I kind of left out. So we did them all, except I don't have any, I think it's 0039s at 1.2 kV. That would widen up my bandwidth. I don't know, how wide am I tonight? Can you tell, Perry? Yeah, well, I don't have any. I know I got one coming, a Silver Eagle. But with this quarantine, I can't go pick it up. So, anyway, just curious.
Hey, Perry.
You said you were plane engines. I was curious about that, if they were sleeved like diesel engines.
I have no idea either. I never worked on a Lycoming engine, ever, in anything. That's I'm sure it's a very well-machined thing. I wouldn't doubt they're sleeved somehow or another, because most engines like that are made to be totally rebuildable. Especially being the close tolerances they have and the expense of the cost of the darn things. I would doubt they probably are sleeved. It's like a Detroit diesel. They can't rebuild most of those things. Sleeves, everything. The cranks good. You can pretty much do them in the vehicle there. New York. KC2 Donut Hole University.
Well, if you guys want to look it up, it's a Lycoming. That's the manufacturer, O-360.
I like there's radio engines.
I heard one of those go over just today, as a matter of fact. It's a wonderful sound. Really? They have those? That is cool. I guess each cylinder is about the diameter of a pencil or something, right? Man, itty-bitty piston rings. That'd be cool to see.
High rev model.
Cool when you can downscale a real engine to something like that, and it still works.
See, when they put one of them damn radio engines in the tractor poles, they soup them up and they put them on the the tractor pole where it pulls the sled and stuff like that. I mean, they don't even look like tractors anymore. And when one of them things locks up, like it throws a rod or something like that, or something just locks up, they got turbos on them and all kinds of stuff. And that thing is screaming. When they lock up, that thing just stops. The engine starts spinning around. There it comes off its mount, comes ripping out of the thing, and goes just tumbling down the track. I mean, that's actually terrible.
Yeah, just passing through. I got dinner at 7 o'clock. Heard you guys in here. Heard Clark talked about changing his oil there. That is an odd weight, but then again, it's aviation oil. I always wondered whether there was any advantage to using aviation oil in an automotive application, that low ash stuff. Whether it was any cost-benefit ratio on that. Do you happen to know?
I don't really know, but I wouldn't think so. Well, I don't even know if or most aircraft oils, a heavy weight like a 2050. Because if so, there wouldn't be that many vehicles to even put that stuff in, unless it was like diesels and your regular passenger cars like 5W20 or 5W30 is what they recommend nowadays.
0W30.
Or 020, 030, but most of them are 520, 530.
Yeah, most of that stuff is an angle, too. They're just trying to meet the corporate average fuel economy. You can still run 1030 in the things. That 0W stuff is just for a marginal fraction of an MPG.
I thought that's because of tight tolerances.
Well, the newer Toyotas, they're running 0W16 in the newer Toyotas. And if you don't run that in there and something packs up in that engine, you will void your warranty. The VVT, the variable valve timing, the solenoids that control all that, everything's pretty much engineered for that 0W16 synthetic oil. And if you don't run it, they have catastrophic failures with the damn thing.
Yeah, but you bring up a good point, Jim. Yeah, these motors there's so much going on in these engines today. Between cam actuators and all the variable valve timing stuff, the VVT solenoids, VTEC solenoids on Hondas, VCT solenoids. There's just a bunch of these screens, and Paul, the screens on these things are like microscopic. You can't see the pores in it, but it's a screen because you can kind of see through it. And anything thicker that would slow that process down could be real detrimental. So we try to run whatever they recommend, and whatever they recommend, if they have different cold weather applications, Alaska, things like that, but normally, you don't see too many cars anymore that take 10W30. They take it, it's like as a second, like if you don't have 530, they recommend 1030. And 1030 is okay. It's not that it wouldn't be okay in some of these cars, but something that takes like 0W16, I don't think they would recommend 1030 to put that thing in at any time.
The stuff is synthetic, and the weight at operating temperature is still... Wait, I'm doubling. Hang on.
Now, that was impressive.
That was very impressive. No, Paul, I got what you said. Most of it, anyway. 99.9% of it.
Yeah, I had the SDR on in my ear, and I heard the Heterodyne, and I said, "Don't."
Yeah, it's alright. It happens. Anyway, well, I'm going to pull back, shut up for a bit, head over to the workbench, but I'll be bouncing back and forth, bouncing around the shack. It's Saturday night. I'm drinking coffee. I don't have work tomorrow. I'm a happy camper, and it was a beautiful day today, and work was okay. W3MMR. Listening.
All right, I'll see you later, Perry. I was just listening to KB3RHR up on 7285. He got up early for his midnight shift, and he was also having coffee and staying up. Didn't know whether he was going to go back to bed or wake up again or just what, so he's in the same boat as yourself there. Have a good evening.
Yeah, all right, Paul, great hearing you. Yeah, he hasn't been on in the morning, so I figured he was working at night, I guess, there, so we'll see you. W3VJB, W3MMR.
Sounded good, Perry. Good to hear you.
73, Perry.
Yeah, we'll see, Art. I'll be around. I'm sure I'll be interjecting. I'm just not going to be an active participant for the next little while. But who knows? Maybe I'll just give up and come back in 10 minutes.
I think I'm going to go have a cigar.
I'm the highest bidder right now on the Heathkit HO10 monitor scope at $27. Fingers crossed it doesn't go past my max bid of $40.
Wow. I got one I refurbished.
That was actually the first monitor scope I ever used. My father has one. He let me borrow it. And of course, in my possession, something blew up in it and stopped working, but it worked good while it lasted.
You know, after I repaired mine, put all the caps and resistors in there, strange thing happened. The 1V2 tube socket shorted out, took out the transformer.
Oh no. Yeah, I know that thing had some AC hum in it, in the signal on the scope. Some ripple. Has some ripple action. But it's something that I'm sure that could be cleaned up very easily. All right, Art, we're pulling back, but I'll be listening. W3MMR.
Into MIN for ID.
I haven't arced anything yet, knock on wood, but...
Yeah, you're definitely going to need a little bit more than a...
Plains is going to be closing for a month due to runway paving and installing new lights and stuff like that. And before the COVID-19 thing, they were coming up with some kind of a staggered schedule that was going to last for several months. And now that there's very little aviation going on out of that airport, I mean, JetBlue does have a pretty good service out of there, as well as some other smaller ops. But they decided, well, with things like this, let's just close the whole thing for a month and get it all done, which I think is a great idea. But we were due for we meaning my business partner and the co-owner of the plane. I don't own it myself. We decided, well, it's beautiful Saturday, that's the forecast, and so let's do that. So we went over to another airport where we picked up the oil filter, oil test kit, because we take a sample of that and then mail it to a company called Aviation Labs. And you basically tell them how many hours, the engine hours, the filter's been in there, or the oil's been in there, how many times or how many quarts of new oil you've added, what kind of oil, and they do the tiny particle check on it, and then give you a very nice graph that shows you how many parts per million of every metal on the periodic chart there is. So you know where your points of concern should be. So it's interesting. But yeah, the oil needs to be changed every 50 hours of operation. And one BCG.
And that's the same cycle I do with the boat, 50 to 75 hours. And it's I've also seen some automotive metallurgy analysts, not necessarily aviation oriented, but they'll do the whole spectrum on the thing and see what parts of your engine have wound up in the crankcase.
You know, I wonder if it's the same company and they just have two different mastheads. So one is Aviation Labs, and they target that towards this industry, and then they might be Automotive Labs or whatever. I'm kind of curious. Maybe next time I talk to them, I'll say, do you guys also do car engines?
Well, I wonder, is any of that part of your flight records? Because they probably have to have certified people doing that, and the tests are probably NBS traceable.
Well, they're part of our records because we need to document in the log that the engine oil was in fact changed at least every 50 hours. And we've been using Aviation Labs now for, probably 19 years, the whole time we've had the plane. So we have a long history with them, and they've always been very good about, pointing stuff out. So far, fingers are crossed that it's going to pass another test, and they're not going to say, wow, you've got very large percentages of nickel or steel. Get ready.
Yeah, watch out for that beryllium, too. I had a guy tell me, you know what you ought to do is get one of those little magnetic crankcase bolts, and you can see what kind of sludge builds up on that. And so I bought one. They're cheap on Amazon. The bolt itself is stainless steel, so it's non-magnetic. And sure enough, the truck, which does a lot of work towing the boat, it's got 38,000 miles on it. When I change the oil, there's a little bit of stuff on the magnet that the filter's not catching. And I'm told it's normal, but I think I'm going to send a little vial of my oil off and make sure everything is right.
Well, the filters get cut open. We left the filter with the aviation shop, which is where the plane normally gets, worked on. We're actually very lucky because we're participating in the owner assist. So when we bring the plane in for its annual inspections, the actual aircraft mechanics don't see it for 2 days. We'll bring it in, take it completely apart, all the inspection plates come off, jack it up, pull the wheels off, clean the bearings, repack them with fresh grease. I mean, just all the stuff which we can do without any, certification. And then the folks who are highly skilled and legally responsible for all this will come over and check our work. But it's we do all the work on the aircraft ourselves under their direction, which is an absolutely fantastic way of really getting one-on-one with your machine.
What kind of machine do you have? This is KF2GV. I have a P-Baron.
You mean what kind of aircraft?
Yes. I have a P-Baron, and my call is Kilo Foxtrot 2 Golf Victor, and hopefully you're hearing me all right. I got the radio adjusted properly. Over.
You did. I'll have that answer for you in a moment. Paul, what were you saying?
It's just the top of the hour ID.
City of license and all that. It's a Piper Archer 2, 1981 Piper Archer 2.
Okay, very good. I fly a P-Baron. That's what I fly, twin-engine P-Baron.
Well, I would have loved to have had a twin, but the thing is your annuals are probably significantly more than ours.
Oh, yeah. I don't get away for less than $6,000, and that's a cheap one. And normally they run about $10,000.
See that, boat owners? Same thing for flying.
Yeah, remember this, whether it flies, whether it floats, or whether it Fs, it's cheaper to rent than it is to buy.
Also cheaper to group own.
That's quite a message from both of you.
Yes. How do I sound? Because I'm normally operating on sideband, ever.
You sound overmodulated.
Okay, so what does that mean? What dial on my FT1000 Delta do I have to fiddle with or change?
I was thinking mic gain would be a great place to start, but it's a little bit better now.
I didn't do anything. Now I'm lowering the mic gain. How's that? Better?
Yes, much less distorted.
Okay, all right. Because I don't pretend to know what I'm doing on AM.
We do.
You have to do you said you had mentioned the oil change every 50 hours on that plane. Yes, is that inspection every 50 hours, or is that a yearly inspection?
Holy cow! No, the annual inspection is just that. It's every 12 months for the complete teardown, and it's very thorough. It's remarkably thorough. We don't do a lot of the engine testing stuff because that gets in too much of a liability. But we'll clean the spark plugs. We'll clean the gas filter, the gas pump. We'll take the oil sump cap off and clean that out. What else in the engine compartment? And general cleaning of it, but we don't do spark gap setting. Magneto, nothing with the magnetos. We have to draw the line somewhere. But we do all like the stupid stuff. The things that really, why do we need to pay someone who's highly skilled to do this stuff? We can easily do it. So we work very well with the techs, and we've known them for almost 20 years. So that helps big time.
What about cooling?
Well,
Air cooled.
the stupid stuff adds up because that adds up into billable hours. So all that stupid stuff you can do, that's a hell of a savings. And the oil labs that you use nowadays, it's amazing what they can tell from the oil, and especially if they know what kind of an engine it is. They can tell you what's breaking down in that engine, whether it's the valve guides, bearings, crankshaft metals, cylinder pistons. The metal in those is starting to break down in there. It really is a forensic thing. It's worth every penny, that's for sure. Especially when you're up in the air like that. It's not like the car breaks down, you pull over to the side. When you're a couple thousand feet in the air and that thing breaks out, you're kind of SOL.
In regard to cooling, when you've got 130, 140 mile an hour, or 140, mile an hour wind blowing through the air ducts around the engine, you get some really good cooling that way. But each of the four cylinders has heat dissipating fins around it, and then so the air is forced through there. And there's also an oil cooler, which the air gets blown through too. So the oil that gets circulated within the engine ends up being cooled as well. So it is definitely air cooled in every way.
Pretty much like an older Porsche engine, air cooled.
And you know what the best part of flying is? Aeronautical Mobile on 146.52. I love that. It's always fun to show people. I'll bring an HT 1 watt. We have a belly-mounted quarter wave antenna just for that purpose. And so I'll get on 146.52 at a watt and throw my call sign out there, and no one will respond. Let's just say N1 BCG listening 146.52. Nothing. Crickets. And then watch this. N1 BCG listening 146.52. Aeronautical Mobile. And that's it. That's when the pile-up starts, like I'm on a coral reef in the South Pacific. Boy, people have a high standard, don't they?
I've seen that plenty of times. I mean, I used to see them when I used to do more APRS. All of a sudden, you see the aeronautical bubbles up there. It's amazing how far you can see them damn things. They're beaconing out. I mean, I know they're going through digipeters and stuff like that, but they get out there a good long ways.
How about in my plane? This is Jack, KF2GV. I have 2 meters, 440, and 1.2 gigs, as well as 10 through 80. I have a ICOM 735 with an AH2 antenna tuner and a King long wire on the fuselage. And I, on 1.2 gig, at flight level 250, I get out about 150 nautical miles. And after that, you can actually hear picket fencing.
Picket fencing at that altitude, amazing. Paul, so how long are you actually able to take advantage of that elevation?
Well, if there's traffic, it's like being stuck at the top of the Ferris wheel. It's not bad, But then they've had some construction going on for a while, and they try to keep people moving at about 20 miles an hour. I can probably get a minute from midway up to the crest of the bridge at 300 feet and then back down again, and probably a minute. And then, on the way back over, I will have told a couple of people that I'll be back in a couple hours or whatever, and they'll be listening, and you get a real brief, furtive QSO. But I've worked from the Chesapeake Bay Bridge down to almost Richmond on Simplex, which is probably about, 150 miles airline. That's not bad.
And it's what, like 300, what was it, feet up?
Yeah, the bridge deck is 300 feet.
That's a good clip on 2 meters.
Well, I'm working another base station, too. I'm not working mobile to mobile. It's mobile to base, so somebody's got a decent antenna at the other end.
Oh, yeah, I used to go up on top of Perkins here and get on 2 meters or 6 meters or something like that. And you can get people from 3 different states from up there. I forget what the height of Perkins, but it's up there.
I think the most noteworthy aeronautical mobile contact I made was about 90 miles. That's not the furthest. But what made it notable is that the station that I was talking to was sitting on the back deck of a cruise ship in Boston Harbor with his HT. You could tell by the sound of his voice he was like really shocked that his handheld was reaching that distance.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Yeah, to him, he was like he was talking to the space station.
Well, I think my coolest experience on Simplex was probably 35 years ago. A friend of mine, WB4 UWH, WB4 underwear heater, was a pilot and an instructor, and had his glider sailplane instructor rating as well. So his dad towed us up to, 2,500 feet or so, and we released over Warrenton, Virginia, which is near the Blue Ridge Mountains. And we started working some wave current in this glider and went up to, I think, 11,000 feet, a little bit above where we were supposed to have oxygen. And I'm working Simplex off a motorcycle battery with a TR-22C Drake, crystal controlled. And yes, that got out. WA3VJB.
Yeah, crystal control.
Who's the 2 station? It sounds okay. It's a little noisy next door, but I'm hearing you. Clark here in southwestern Connecticut. Yes, it's very hard to shake that reputation.
Got the dinner call. See you guys.
Have a good night, Paul.
It's on the spur, brother.
Hey, Paul, call me. Hey, Paul, can you call me through it?
Okay, and this is the FT1000 Delta.
What is it?
This radio is the FT1000 Delta.
Hearing you good here in Thompson Cove on the 1000 Delta.
Yeah, well, this is the 1000 Delta, and the other one was the Kenwood.
I think this one sounds better. I mean, Clark's got better audio ears than I do. I'm sure he can give me a lot better audio report, but good strapping signal.
Audio ears.
Well, you're better with sound than I am.
Yeah, and the other radio was the
It's very subjective too.
I call it the little radio.
Along with the when someone says, how does this sound, you really have to say, well, how do you want to sound? Because who knows? Someone might get on and they're on AM like once every month, and yet they're a hardcore DXer on sideband. Then you get them all tweaked up for AM, and then all of a sudden their sideband performance starts to suffer. So, it really depends upon how people want to sound.
How do I sound?
Sound far away. Where are you?
So far, so good. And when you left, you have audio ears, and Murphy's got pointy ears.
Right, because he's hanging out with a bunch of girls all day today. Boy, you want to talk about polygamy.
Yeah, I nicknamed him Woody.
Yes, my dog went to Camp Tucktail this afternoon, and it's him and, well, except for Buddy, it's all girls. What a great ratio, huh? That's so funny. That sounds like Roger yelling down the band.
KE3FEF. Good evening, Clark.
It's a cast of thousands here on 3885. Good evening.
Good evening, Mike. Again?
Howdy do-da. I'm on like my third Cuban coffee right now, and I could probably pull a fully loaded trash barge across dry land right now.
Interesting measurement of strength.
That's kind of what it feels like, though. Whew! It's been a while. When we had just acquired a company down in South Florida, and they volunteered me as the first guy to walk through the door and introduce their new owners, and everybody wanted to make friends. So the head of design, I'll never forget his name, Luigi. He said, "Mike, you got to try these Cuban coffees. We'll make you. If you've never been to South Florida, you got to try a Cuban coffee." Yeah, see how fast I'm talking already? And so I was like, all right, yeah, I'll try one. Well, I went through like 3 of them. By 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I was bouncing off the walls.
If you drink too much of that Cuban coffee there, you're going to make cocaine deals.
It's like having a triple espresso in a single shot, but with a lot of sugar. And man, are they yummy.
He just did that thing from was it Battlestar Galactica? Buck. Hey, you're zoomed up.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I've been downstairs working all day today, and I was like, I gotta take a break. So I came up, I was listening for a little bit, and then I was like, I need something to wake me up. And then I thought of these Cuban coffees, and I was like, I can do this. And actually, I'm using the exact same coffee that they told me to buy, and I have the espresso, pot and whatnot. So I fixed it up, and oh my God, it's delicious. So Tanya was like, make me one. So she's got one too. So we'll both be bouncing off the wall shortly. Well, actually, I'm kind of bouncing off the walls already.
Have a couple of drinks, and then you'll be a wide awake jumping bean. And a drunk one.
It's like a speedball between alcohol and coffee.
Exactly.
And it reminds me, we were out at the bar all night. Well, it wasn't just one night. Okay, never mind. But anyway, we always went to the diner after we go to the bar. So one of my buddies, he's lit there. So he says, let's drop him off. No, come on, let's go. We get him a couple of cups of coffee there. I said, that's all I need is a wide awake drunk in the back of my Chevelle.
Yeah, I never, I guess you could look at it that way. This is like having 5 cups of coffee in about 10 seconds. But it is so good. Basically, a Cuban coffee is espresso over a lot of sugar. And I add a little bit of half and half, a little bit of cream to it just to kind of smooth it up a bit. And holy cow, it is just It's so friggin' delicious, especially at like this hour right now. What is it, 7 o'clock? Yeah. So, yeah, and I feel like, is it Sunday already? I don't know.
Put some Zambuca in it, you'll be fine.
That's some good stuff, man. That's better than the Kool-Aid.
You mean Jim Jones?
He's coming over in a little bit. We're going to start up a whole new thing. Oh, wait, no, he's gone. Anyway, good to hear everybody. I'm kind of just listening. I got to get back downstairs. I am so backlogged on projects and other things. As Clark knows, actually, Clark, if you're listening, the new toy is in my mailbox. I just got to go down and go get it. So
the new toy is in your mailbox?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. No? Max? I'll just say Max.
Oh, cool.
Say Pat.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take a ride after this, go down there and at least get it in the shop. I know I can't build it yet. I've got like 50 other things I've got to do before that, but it's no, it'll be something fun for sure. I'm very looking forward to digging into that.
Well, if you have any questions, call anytime.
Yep. And thank you, by the way. Thank you for turning me on to that. I think that's going to be like super handy. And it's probably not going to be my first and only, I have a feeling. I was just playing around. Well, I was downstairs today trying to do a whole bunch of cleanup and just get things organized because I feel like my brain is getting a bit out of control. So I moved a bunch of stuff out into the garage that I have a feeling I'm going to be using with the Gates BC1T. So I set up a little rack in the garage of special gear just for the BC1T, a small mixer, got that ready to go. I organized the T368 area, got that ready to go. So, yeah, I mean, one of these things is not going to be enough. Just saying.
Wow. All right. Well, have fun with it.
Well, thank you again. And I don't want to occupy. I've been listening. You guys are having a fun conversation. So I'll be going to be roaming around the house, probably bouncing off the walls. So have fun. I'll be around. I'll be listening. Don't talk about me. Otherwise, I'll have to key up.
He's gone. All right, Mike, we'll see you later. Hello, Tanya. Get on later on tonight.
Oh, I absolutely will. Did you hear her in the background chuckling?
Yes, I can hear her.
Say hello, honey.
I'm here.
How'd that Cuban coffee go over?
Oh, yeah.
Woo! Riba, riba! I need pee for my bunghole.
Oh, no, don't say that. I'm sitting on Lynn and I sit on the front porch with the hound dogs and you know, having a nice tobacco pipe there. And I see this kid walking by, tall as you be lanky, and he had his hood pulled up over his head. I don't know why. It was nice out. And he's wearing these shorts there, and I looked at him. I said, that looked like Beavis. I swear to God, I wish I had a roll of toilet paper. I would have thrown it right at him. I said, here, catch, dude.
That's one of those scenes that will, like, live forever in my mind.
I couldn't get my camera out of my pocket quick enough to take a picture of him. Like, oh, man. Actually, I got a T-shirt of that, sitting around here. I need TP for my butthole. That was before the pandemic.
As you were describing it, I was lifting my T-shirt up over my head. That was the perfect image.
That was an iconic scene there. And I have the T-shirt from a place. It was a head shop here in Norwalk called Utopia when it first came out. And it's like I'll take a picture of it. And it was, when they first came out, one of the owners gave me the T-shirt, and I still have it. Somebody goes, "You want to sell?" I go, "Nah, I don't think so." He goes, "That's an original, the first." I said, "Nah." But what was one of the other iconic? I think I got a couple other things. I didn't watch it a lot. One of my favorite one was Watching the Dog.
Oh my God! Yeah, so many of those episodes were fantastic. I mean, I used to watch them when it was just an in-between 30-second spot on MTV, and then it actually became its own show. So no, I've got a long history there. But anyway, I just wanted to say hello. Like I said, I was listening to you guys, and I had the gear on, so I figured I'd just chime in and say what's up. Uh-oh, she's already concerned that I may have destroyed the kitchen just to make this stuff. So I'll have to go check the damage and see what I've done there. But I'll be back later. So 73 guys, K3FEF here in Milford, PA.
Yeah, I could hear the worry voice in the background. N173s. Bye, guys.
Take care, Mike. Have a great night. Good hearing you. AC2CHU.
Now back to radio normal activity.
W1JGM.
It's November 1 something Yantam Yanta. This is N1
Good evening, Al. Hopefully we sound okay. W1JGM.
Oh, gosh. What brings you this way?
I don't know. I was spinning the dial, and I thought I was connected to a broadcast quality radio station there a little while ago, and so I stopped to listen, and I just listened back here. Good afternoon, guys. It's John up here in New Fairfield.
Hello, John. Not super loud, but sounded good there. I was just on the phone with Lou the last couple of days there. Talking about amplifiers and all kinds of good stuff there. So, how you guys holding out up that way? My daughter's stationed in the Danbury Hospital.
Sorry, I got some noise here. What happened at Danbury Hospital?
No, I'm saying how things going up there. I don't know if you know, if I mentioned it on Facebook there. My daughter's stationed at the Danbury Hospital.
Yeah, she's a nurse or EMT or something there?
Yeah, she sticks people with pointy things.
Okay. Yeah. No, in town, there are just under 100 confirmed cases. That's what they say confirmed. You're just half lose out anyhow. And for me, Al, because I work from home, it's not been a different way of life. Getting out to the store, getting to restaurants, we haven't gone out to eat, so we, like tonight, we got some takeout and keep everybody going. But other than that, it's been pretty normal for me. Everybody around me is fairly healthy, and we're trying. Nobody's allowed in the firehouse, that's kind of a bummer, unless we get a call, we don't get in the firehouse, so that has been curtailed now for the last 2 months, but I'm sure.
Well, that's why you got some horsepower up there. Sounded fine. How's Miss Arizona doing?
Oh, she's doing fine. She's sound asleep right now. Turn this up. 165 watts out Smith. 65 watts area. They get a little red in the face at that power level.
Well, it's okay. What are the tubes in that linear?
813s. 813s. Old used ones I had kicking around, and boy, I'll tell you, they work better than the brand new ones that I've got.
Oh, they're doing a job. I guess a little color. I'm not that familiar with 813s. I mean, I got 4400s. My modulators show a little color, but my RF, they're coasting. I put out a 500-watt carrier because I keep the modulation level down to stay within the legal limit. So that's my just to quiet the frequency down before I say something, which I usually say way too much. No, it sounded great. It's always good to hear you. I have so much trouble every so often hearing you, just because where you are and, conditions there, because if it's daytime, it's just awful. And of course, Steve's radio, SDR is not working, so I can't even use that. Although I guess I can go over to K3FEF. But, who knows? I got some difficulty with this new computer. I got the modulation monitor. When I plug it in there, it doesn't work anymore. It was working. But I plugged it into my old machine, and the modulation monitor is working just hunky-dory. So wait till Steve gets a wind of this one. He probably knows what's wrong. Anyway, sounding good tonight. I'm probably going to get the dinner call, but I wanted to do some testing right up till the time I get it. So I'm glad you stopped by. And you're just fine. Have you been doing anything? I know you've been hunkered down, but a lot of construction work with one guy in a cab and stuff like that's no problem, so they still ask him to work, which I guess is not bad to get income. So I hope everything's going well for you and everybody's, you and yours are okay. No bad reports on this illness. And one YTM, KG2IR.
KG2IR and then YTM. Well, I don't work construction anymore, Nick. I work for U-Haul. But I only work 2 days a week now. I retired a month ago. And they begged me to stay at least 2 days a week. And they said, pick the days that you work. Just pick the days. They don't want to lose me. I work Mondays and Tuesdays, 5 hours a day, 10 hours a week, and that's it. I got the rest of the week off on the weekend. I don't have to do a bloody thing there. But I retired. I'm on Social Security now. And that's the end of my prison career right there, bud.
Well, we got somebody on frequency that likes to play around. Boy, as soon as you come on, you just squash it. Hope you're hearing me okay.
What's out there?
That's getting crowded. Now we got them on 75, we got them on 80. We got to close up the band there, or we all got to spread our elbows a little. Stay our social distance.
That's right, yeah, you gotta stay a wavelength apart.
I see more people walking around here than I ever seen since this whole thing now. And I'm seeing people I don't even know. I'm watching them close.
Well, yeah, it's a beautiful day. We're not all getting out walking, down here, I got up by the river. Actually, the cops were crossing the line away because last weekend there was tons of them. They hop over the tracks and they're fishing in the river. And there's so many of them, they'll parking cars on both sides of the road. And it's a narrow little road that goes through here. If they had to bring a fire truck or something down here, it wouldn't fit through, let's put it that way. Or a tractor trailer or a bus or something like that. It doesn't come down here, but the cops actually came and hustled them by. But a lot of people out walking today and out just driving around. People start going crazy, stuck in their houses. Nothing wrong walking, just want staying away from people. And, just get some fresh air, some exercise, I guess.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, staying the social distance. They didn't mind so much, in certain parks and stuff there. And we had the same thing here in Greenwich. 8,000 people went to the beach about last month there. And they decided that was it, they're going to close it. But they were noticing that, this family's in close, areas with another family. They're gathering together. They're talking. I guess they didn't get the concept of social distance. I'm walking around the tape measure, going around in a circle, 6 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet. Don't touch my tape. And so they said, that's it. You can't abide by the rules. That's it. You know, it's a health and safety issue. We all got to work together. But anyway, so. But yeah, well, Connecticut, April 1st is, I know, New York State opening fishing there. The trout season starts anyway. And Connecticut opened it up back here in March there, opened it up early. Figured, you know, people can at least get out and go on the rivers and stuff like that, you know. And most of the time, you're distance from people fishing anyway. If you're not, I'm going to be walking up the river because I don't want you to know my spots. So, but anyway. On that note, you know what? I don't know where Clark is. I was going to go up and run the dishwasher and be back in about a half hour or so. So, see, band conditions hang out there. Unless the other half wants me to sit and watch a movie. I don't know. I don't know why she wants me to torture her, but we'll go see what's going on. So we'll catch you all later. N1LF.
Hey, very good, Rob. Yeah, well, down here, well, this is the Hudson River down here, so I guess the stripers that are running, you know, and just people that come down here and stripe, you know, fish for the stripers, you know, every spring and stuff like that. I didn't know them. There's like half a dozen of them, but these people, I'd never seen them before. I think they're just fishing. They're gonna either that or, you know, they really need just food. They'll just take whatever they can get out of the river. But it is the Hudson River. Stripers are, from what I understand, they're saltwater fish. They come up here to do their business and boogie back out to the ocean. But the other stuff you're catching in the river, even though they've cleaned the Hudson up, is who knows what these people are catching out there. Catch you later on. KC2D at you.
Yeah, that you mentioned the Hudson River. That's one of my favorite rivers. I love the history of that river. You know, a lot of that stuff now is, you know, they claim that, you know, all that stuff that was dumped there with GE there is already covered over with silt and stuff like that, and it's sitting down there. They were thinking of, you know, like trying to clean it up, but they're like, you know, if you start disturbing it, it's going to probably kick the stuff up in the water back again there and bring it back up to the surface, and then you're going to have the problems. You know, it's funny. It's how nature takes care of itself there, but that's why they never started digging anything up there. They didn't want to stir that contamination up.
Well, I think years ago they did the dredging up there around the Schenectady area, but not down here. Yeah, that stuff's probably so far down the silt right now, it's probably got a huge filter on top of it. Leave it alone at this point. You know, unless you're dragging an anchor down that river, and the thing's, you know, like a plow, you're doing furrowing. You ain't gonna bother it. It's gonna sit down there and it's gonna keep on sinking and sinking, and more silt is gonna wash in on top of it, and it's like a big ass HEPA filter.
Yeah, it'll keep sinking right down to the earth, right to China. Oops. Paybacks. See you later.
Oh well. See you later on.
The what?
That's right. You tell him, Billy.
Yeah. What?
Hey, what's going on? K1 GTX. Does this thing sound alright to you? Somehow I zorched my bail and I just put a new one in, hoping I'm getting out there and it sounds halfway decent.
Yeah. I'm listening wide too. You get some nice highs in there. I can really hear them. They're sounding good, man. Sounding good here.
All right. Really spectacular down here in Tompkins Cove, New York, as well.
Good enough. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I use that lightly, but good. I don't know how you fry a 10 kilowatt Ballon, but this thing burned up. I don't know what the hell is going on. I gotta find out why, I guess, now, but well, match is close. 1.5 without the tuner, so I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Alright, thanks. I'm gonna go down into the cellar then and bolt this thing back up, and I'll be back. Thanks, Billy, and the other Gentlemen out there, K1 GTX Cape Cod. I'll be back shortly.
All right. And hey, what kind of balloon is that? What, like a 4-to-1 or something on the output of the tuner?
Yeah, so it was a DX Engineering. This sucker wasn't cheap either. It was a BLO 50H10A rated for 10 kilowatt intermittent 5K continuous. It was a 1-to-1. I thought it was a 4-to-1, but I looked it up, and according to the documentation, it's 1-to-1, so that's kind of what I wanted. But I just put another one in there. I opened it up, and the thing's fried, man. Yeah, and this, I don't know, but they have a photo of it. It looks pretty well built, but it's cooked. So I don't know why that would have happened. I don't have the power here for that to happen. I'm lucky if I'm getting out a kilowatt, but I don't know. But that's what it was, a DX Engineering right into a ladder line to a simple inverted V, nothing fancy here. And I noticed the match jumping around and getting RF all over the place, and the flex is acting funky, so I only went through it in there. It seems to be working a lot more stable, so. And yeah, I opened it up, I shook the thing, and you can hear all kinds of stuff rattling around in it, so it's torch.
Yeah, I would definitely give them a call. And just send them a picture of the darn thing, for crying out loud. Yeah, they usually make pretty good stuff. That thing shouldn't have scorched itself.
Yeah, especially a 1-to-1. No, 4-to-1. Yeah, I don't know. 1-to-1. I'm not quite sure what's going on in the tuner, but that shouldn't happen. No, but if you don't want to buy anything, or you want to just like buy some parts that are way cheaper, I've had a lot of success just basically downright copying the Ballon Designs Ballons. They've got a couple there. I've tried 2 different versions, and they're fine. It's a lot cheaper to just buy, like, you know, FT240 31 cores and do it yourself.
Yeah, you're right. A day late and a dollar short, but you're right, yeah. I should have done that. But you know what, Billy? I hate to say it, I'm kind of lazy. I'm turning into an appliance operator. But I should have done it. You're right. But I just want to see if I can fix this thing, so I'm going to tear it apart and at least use the box, and that's probably what I'll do for the other antenna.
Yeah, fine business. I hear you too, man. I've been lazy lately as well.
Sometimes you're busy fixing and building other stuff, and something simple like a Ballon, you say, just grab one, you know, and hook it up there. That way I can continue doing this, and I got an ant tuner now I can, you know, use with it and, you know, continue with my other project. Sometimes there just isn't enough hours in the day.
Yeah, but I'm glad it's just working again, so I can join the festivities. It is Saturday night after all, so who knows what's going to happen. You know, you got Twitch TV going on here and everything else, so we'll just see what happens. I want to sew this up. I got to let the chat in anyway. It's out there clawing on my screen again, so thanks again for the input, and we'll talk to you guys in a bit. K1 GTX.
All right. Catch you in a little bit. W2 BTK.
From where they begin.
Yeah, I'm hearing Nick down on 75. He was doing some testing before. While I was talking to this guy Mike, it was at NDB. He's doing crazy stuff with modulators also.
Yeah, when you let they have a full modulation wise with the stupid Harvey modulator on it. Other than that, the other boat anchors they got here, I just kind of kept them amps a little bit. Nothing other than, a D104 doesn't take care of, making regular communications quality audio. So I imagine this probably sounds like anyhow, but it's better than no audio out of it.
Nah, it's better than communications, man. And it's got decent frequency response too. You get energy out there, well past 3K.
Well, that's good to know. Yeah, it's just running the rig itself with an 807, so it's like 18 watts. RE320 microphone and Joe Meek 3Q and a Rat Jack 40 watt PA, going into the upside down transformer in the rig. So it's pretty much simple enough that I could not screw it up totally.
Oh yeah, that Joe Meek 3Q. We've talked about that before because I had one of those. I ended up letting my buddy in Arizona borrow it, so I haven't seen it in a while, but that thing rules. I used to record bass guitar with it. That was my favorite box. If you go get the little green box when you were tracking bass, it was pretty sweet. I love those things, man. It sounds good, and I wouldn't say communications in it at all. Sometimes I hear you on that thing, and you're like strapping, and it sounds great. Like when it's full quieting, it's really good.
That's about when I got the amp on. Yeah, throwing a 100 watts carrier out of it. Yeah, well, I used one of these 3Qs too on the in the camper on the Azu 101 with the KBW mods on it, the line level. And he said that thing. He says the damn thing sounds like an E-rig. Of course, I'm not on the other end listening to it, but for a 101, I guess it sounds pretty good.
Yeah. No, I mean, dude, you're good. Anyway, yeah. What kind of amp is that over there? Because I just recently got myself an amp.
Oh, on this rig, I use a Dentron, a Clipperton L, and it's the high voltage caps have been redone in it. Did do the center top mod on it, and recently put a fresh quad of 572s in it. I probably had this amp, Billy, for longer than I've been licensed as a ham. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, dude. That's awesome though. Holding on to stuff. That I have this similar situation here with the Viking 2, man. Because I got this thing from my buddy Dave, and I wasn't a general class ham yet. I had my tech ticket for years, but I wasn't doing any ham radio stuff. And he was like, "Here's a Viking 2, like try not to burn your house down. Externally modulated," and he like made some squiggles on a schematic from the Viking 2. He was like, "Here, all right, go forth." And I got it working on CB with some like mod transformer. It was a crappy match, but it was like working and doing stuff. And I used it for like a couple of years like that. And then finally one day I was like, "This sucks, I'm bored." And I went and studied for like a week, got my general, got on, and I haven't looked back.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same story too. Here, Billy. I was a Techberg a good number of years. Got a repeater at the shop, still running on the air. Hopped in the Echolink, was into that. Put another one on the air up in Sullivan County. A buddy of mine's got that running by his house here, so I used to maintain them things and tune duplexes and learn all that kind of stuff. And not the one that's in the camper, but I got another one. That's the one I used to use for this Clipperton. And I had that thing for over 30 years for quite out loud, because that was my chicken band radio back in the day. And then you know, when the text could have little HF privileges, and you could work, what's that, 28.3 to 28.5. You know, then I started using it on the ham bands and that, you know, and I think I was doing an alignment on the 101 that I got out in the camper now. Excuse me, and put that thing all back together. That was a junk radio. And I had, believe it or not, the wife was away, and I had the damn thing on the kitchen table also falling apart. And there's the wire going over to my antenna. And, you know, that's when I started hearing the AM guys on 80 meters, and I said, well, these guys sound good. I just like their whole attitude and, you know, the questions that were going back and forth, and how people were helping people out. And I said, well, this is, Jesus Christ, this is better than them guys I hear crying on sideband, pissing and moaning on 80 meters sideband. And I said, I want to get on AM. I got a radio. I got a freaking 101. I can get on AM with this damn thing. And hustled out and got my license and started studying the book and stuff like that, and went out and got the general, and I said, and never looked back. And, you know, every now and then I get on sideband, you know, with some people I know, or, you know, a couple of nets, you know, once in a blue moon, you know, people that I, you know, actually know. But other than that, the rag chewing and stuff like that, it's AM all the way, baby, and I ain't going back, you know, thanks to everybody that's out there.
Yeah, heck yeah. I've rag chewed on sideband, but I didn't start out doing that. I was just like, I was using AM on the CB, and I just immediately came out and got on 75 meters on AM, and I didn't even own a rig that was capable of doing sideband at first. And then the club loaned me one, and I was doing it a little bit, and then I started doing FT8 mostly, but I've only, like, used single sideband, like, a handful of times ever in my life, you know, so that tells you what you need to know. I'm all about AM. And if I'm going to sit out here and listen and talk to people, I would rather listen and talk with some fidelity. And, you know, unfortunately that takes a little bit of bandwidth, but, excuse me, we have 4 megahertz of spectrum on this band, and that's plenty. There's plenty of room. So, I don't know what everybody's problem is, but it seems like a lot of people have a problem with AM. Not me. I enjoy it, and I prefer AM. So there you go. That's not to say that I don't like to get on Slop Bucket and do a little bit of, like, heck, even contesting. I go to field day, you know, and I have a lot of fun working pile-ups, just real quick exchanges, 5.9 contest information, you know, whatever the exchange is, and move on and do that for hours, and it's fun to me too. Sometimes, not every night. I could do AM every night. W2BTK.
KC2DHO. Yeah, I was never a contester. Buddy of mine was a contester, but I never got into it. That sounded too informal to me. Yeah, you're 5'9", hi, goodbye. Good luck with the contest. Say, hey, how's the weather out there in Phoenix or something like that? And the guy says, bye, old man. You know, he was on to the next guy. He's like, what a brute son of a bitch. I don't want to talk to you. And it kind of bugged me. It's little thing that kind of ruffled my feathers, and kind of ruffles my feathers now when, you know, a bunch of us are in here on a QSO or something like that, and all of a sudden they start up a contest, and these people just come like, jump right on top of you, like they pretend you're invisible and they can't hear you, and they just start calling CQ contests. You know, it's not really much that gets under my skin, but that does. So what kind of amp you working on there, though?
The one I'm talking on, or the transmitter building?
So you said you were building something there.
Yeah, it's pair of 810s, push-pull, plate modulated, obviously. So I'd want it to work from 160 through 10. Got swappable output tank coils, one of those HDVL jack bars with the swinging link. And the input right now is a band switch, but I'm going to rebuild it and maybe use plugins for the input also. It'll be a little bit of a biatch, but it'll be easier to build for my first thing. But it's working. It was doing, 350 watts carrier on 75 meters. And I had a little bit of a problem with one of the caps in the output when I modulated it. I guess the cap was weak, and when the voltage shot up with modulation, it let go. So that, and I've been having little problems here and there with the input or this or that. I had a hum, and I tracked it down to a bad cap, replaced that. Hum's gone, but it's a slow process. I need to rebuild the neutralizing caps because they're both like really different, and it's going to be hard to make them. To dial them in, so I'm gonna make two identical ones from scratch. That should work better, but I do a lot on it, and then I leave it alone for a little while. I do a lot on it, I leave it alone. So, it's a little dance.
Hello, Billy.
Hi, Mikey.
Hey, Mike. No, that's really cool. Yeah, I wish I had the smart to do that kind of stuff. That's beyond my pay scale. When it comes to cars, trucks, tractors, appliances and stuff like that, that's what I worked on for life. Basically, being an auto repair shop. But, I enjoy it. It's fascinating. I learn a lot from it, but, I'm nowhere near to scratch building something. That would, I could scratch fix something that's really messed up like the AC-20 that I used. That thing was pretty much pretty bad shape when I got it, but I just had it in my mind that I was going to make that thing work one way or the other, and I did. Well, the same thing with this Harvey Wells too. This thing was in pretty poor shape too, but this thing's about as simple as they come, and that's why it's got the redneck modulator, because I figured, well, why would I even bother putting a carbon mic on this thing? Carbon mic transformers. Asking a few questions out there, and people gave me all they had to do was just point me in the right direction like a horse, and say, you go this way, you do this, and you do that. I said, okay, cool, let's do it. And oh wow, and I was messing with it, and I got it actually working. Clip leads all over the place, and stuff torn all over the place. Oh wow, this really does work. They pointed me in the right direction. So that I find it amazing, and I learned a hell of a lot from it. But there's no way in hell this guy's going to be able to scratch build something, even if somebody had an AK-47 in my head. I just pull the trigger, unless you want me to build a crystal receiver or something like that out of cellophane paper. You can do an earphone in there, maybe listen to something, but other than that ain't happening.
Yeah, well, it's not as bad as you think, man, because when I started out, I didn't know anything about it, and I just learned along the way. There's enough people out here that know how to do it and help you. You get the gist, get the gist of it. So it's just like whether you're motivated enough to overcome all that, or if you have something else to do, I don't know. I was just like, I really want to know how to do this, so kind of figured it out along the way. And I don't have the thing on the air, but it's a working transmitter. I mean, it made a legal limit carrier, and it modulated for like a couple seconds before that cap blew up. So, it's just a start. I mean, you're talking like I know something that you don't, and I really probably don't know that much more about this stuff than you. W2BTK.
I'm sure you have that thing on the air. It'll probably sound really good there. Yeah, Mike, come on in there, my friend. AC2DHU.
Okay, very good. And hello, everybody. It's Randy X. I don't know if I got this thing pumping too much here. Hold on a second. Let me just change this profile. Alright, that should be better. Alright.
Holy crap, Mike.
Yeah, there was too much in there, right?
A little bit.
Yeah, that was one of my profiles that just went haywire.
Very interesting on the pan adapter, I gotta say.
Did you see the new one?
Yeah, I've never seen a square wave on the pan adapter.
I think Daniel had some square waves before. Or he was talking about them, but no, Mikey, I didn't see yet. I was talking about on my pan adapter. The signal was crazy.
Yeah, buddy. This is like Bart Simpson's head right here. Check it out. If you go to my QRZ page, you'll see the new skin I just designed for the Flex. I got some new 3D inlets, inlays with some new sliders. And I'm designing another one as we speak. So there's a couple of new ones out. And I think K9NS is going to upload them in the new version. And 2MVX, and hello, everybody.
How you doing there, Mike? Into MDX KC2DH2, and you said really strap it up here in Tompkins Cove, New York.
You too, my friend. You sound fantastic. Running a 5,000 to an ACOM 1000. Hello, radio.
Okay, well, yeah, sounds really good. Yeah, I'm just running an old Harvey Wells TBS 50C. About 18 watts. With a redneck modulator on it.
Maybe 3AL because I didn't.
How's your front end, Mikey?
Hey, neighbor. What's going on there, Mr. Dave? I was wondering when you step on that pedal. And good evening to you, brother.
Yeah, good evening. I've been listening here for hours. I've been painting. So thanks for the entertainment, everybody. And you sounded good now, Mike, now that you got adjusted. But, man, when you first came on, I guess you're using a profile for something other than this. Anyway, nice to know you can make it sound that good, and it does. So good stuff. I'm just checking in. W2 very weak.
Good to hear, Dave, KC2DH2. Good to hear you.
That was his Channel 19 profile.
Yeah. Channel 19. Remember that, Dave?
Yeah, Channel 19. Isn't that like the precursor virus to COVID-19? And the DHU, I forget your name. I talked to you, I listened to you. I can't remember your name, but anyway, good evening. Good to hear you on here. And yeah. Okay, just taking a measurement. Thank you.
Yeah, it's Jim.
Jim, I'll try to remember that. I don't know, for some reason, it's just not sticking. You know what I mean? I'll have to write it 500 times and then I will remember. Thank you.
Yeah, well, it took me about 40 years to get it sticking. 20
See, I didn't get the other guy's call with the Channel 19 comment.
EV3AL.
Al?
No, Mike. Alpha Bravo 3, Alpha Lima.
Haha, you got you.
He's the owl that's a Mike.
I've got a hydraulic lift table, so I can do it up.
Just remember, no, I guess that won't work.
Hey, Dave, what's that going on? I hear somebody, it sounds like maybe they're firing up a prenet or something.
I don't know, I don't hear. There's a one-way effect. I don't hear anything that I'm not interested in.
Buddy of mine over here to give me a hand with it. What?
Yeah, I got that in my amplifier. If you're trying to break in, just drop your call sign. That works a lot easier. Hello? Is that WB3F? I got WB3 something. Anybody hear him? Try it again one more time there, OM. There's a little bit of QRM
from inconsiderate people. Try it again. It's just not happening.
Yeah, I can't pull them out here. Oh well. Well, what's going on, Dave? What are you painting this time?
Well, my second bathroom that I remodeled never got painted because we had to put it back into service last November because Ada's stepdad stayed with us. So I had all this stuff that I cut in there, you know, drywall and shower enclosure and a new floor and a new vanity and all that, and so I had to finish the spackling and all that, which I did a couple days ago. And so I just got the ceiling painted. It looks beautiful. Now I can put the new lights up, and I use ceiling paint for the primer. I put a layer of primer on the walls, but I didn't really like it. Put some of that kill stuff on there since it's a bathroom. So I put a layer of regular ceiling paint over it, and now I can paint it with the colored paint. And it's a smaller bathroom than the other one. It's actually harder to work in there because you can't, it's really tough. Anyway, I did that. We cleaned up around here today, mowed the lawn, got a lot of crap done. It was really a beautiful, beautiful day down here on Beechwood Mountain. You know, the birds are singing. Got an apple tree in full bloom in the backyard. And went on a little shopping excursion. Got some stuff. So, that's what's going on here. Pardon the long transmission, but every once in a while it just seems to fit.
Hey, just fatten up the signal a bit there, Dave. Is this on there?
After 2 seconds, I'm not going to tell you that.
Nah, come on. I think your ears are like canine. Alright, no, just, they'll probably piss off a couple people. Screw them. Anyway, yeah, hello radio. Mr. Dave.
The bump that you have in the bass, Mikey, with that mic, it sounds good, but you need to move the bump lower. Like there's a peak in it. You need to move that down a little bit if you can, and I think it'll sound really, really good.
You got the
MIDI. Of course, I'm probably pretty MIDI right now, too. Hey, Mikey!
Yeah, you definitely need some bass in your audio. Just a little more there. Get them.
Somebody's asking, they're on your page or something. They just see a windscreen in front of the shack pick right now, in front of the mic or something. They wanted me to ask you about that. Like, what's up with that?
That's so I don't get COVID-19 in my room.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a COVID-19 split screen. You didn't get one yet?
No. And what kind of microphone is that?
Well, the one I'm using now is a POS. It's the China-made BM800. Well, yeah, you get these issued from the government, Billy. You didn't get yours. It comes with your stimulus check.
No, I use a dirty diaper.
There you go. Always depend on the pens. Dave does.
You know, the stimulus check with Trump's name on it, okay? Now, everybody and their brother has direct deposit, so they're not getting a stimulus check with Trump's name. The people who get that are people that use the check cashing services, and they don't have a... It's the people who probably really hate Donald Trump. So that sounds like an effective way to remind people that hate him that he doesn't like them facts. That's what I'm thinking is really going on there.
I thought it was a genius move. Hey, Billy, I changed my Twitch handle. Hey, I don't get a direct deposit. I get everything by paper. I'll get my check with Trump's name on it sometime in August, and
Oh, I don't hate them, but I see your point. That's pretty funny.
Wait a minute. August? Why would you get a check in August?
Because I got to wait for them to do all my... I send my stuff in on paper, so they have to process it and do it. I probably won't see the check till August.
Did you do your income tax in 2018?
Oh, well, yeah, on paper.
Yeah, so they're gonna look at that, and they're gonna give you a stimulus based on that, and then probably if it's incorrect, like a year and a half from now, they're gonna say no, we want it back. But I don't think that's gonna happen in your case, because well, no, that's not true, right? Has it been a year since you got up to top rate?
No, that was September, so almost, but, let's see, 2018, I wasn't making as much in 2018, so I'll probably get the full amount, and then, who knows?
If you make more in 2019 than you made in 18, then you might get zapped. It depends how much you make. No, you're two very weak, and I am not a tax expert, so anybody out there, if you're going to make decisions based on my advice, good luck.
Hey, Billy, I changed my Twitch handle.
How did you do that? They won't let me change mine. They're making me wait.
Well, I'd been a member for 3 years and just never logged in.
Oh, well, what did you change it to?
Scratch my balls.
No way. Nice. Oh, man, that's going to be fun.
There's a little jockeying going on there. You got to get something original.
Nah, I was going to, but it flagged it as offensive.
You could do like scratch my roids.
Yeah, well, Billy's going to change his to I love innocent lambs or something like that, right? Isn't that what you're going to use?
I was going to make it I am 5. Like, I am 5 years old. But that could also get me banned, too. You know, it's really hard. I want to come up with a legitimate name that has, like, the word triode in it or something. Something with, like, triode in it, or I don't know. Maybe I'll just make it BTK. Who knows?
See, the whole thing is if you do I am 5 with that mustache that you're rocking, kind of looks like the whole pedophile thing. Say I am 50.
Are you saying that you know what a pedophile looks like, Frankie?
Come on, man. Just take a look on the database. They have those mustaches, Dave.
No, seriously, man. Seriously, in all seriousness, do you think that you could pick a pedophile out of a lineup based on what they look like?
Probably not. We got some living in our town. Did you know that?
Yes, trust me, not only do I know that, I know where they are, and I know their names, and I also know what they look like in case I run into them.
Hi, Dave. Hi, guys. WD8BIL.
Hello, Budley.
Oh, guys. Man, sounding good here in Ohio tonight.
Is that your orange wire?
No, that's on the other side. That's coming up on 40 right now. This is the Henry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're doing fine over here, Budley. Good to hear you. Hope you're staying safe out there. And you're doing a fine business here. As far as you can go, almost near the Atlantic Ocean. So what more could you ask for?
Oh, nothing much at all. I heard Billy in there, and I heard Mikey in there. Hello.
In here?
LDX, how you doing? Good. Name's Bud. I'm in Stowe, Ohio, just north of Akron. Oh, he's coming here like gangbusters, man. Nice signal, 15 over. Cool. Yeah, I'm on the 746 tonight. Nothing trick. Yeah, driving the Henry 2K. About 600 watt peak out. That's about it. Sweet. Sounds good. Okay, Bill.
Hey, I've spent a lot of time in Akron. My grandparents, my aunt are from Akron.
Yeah, what part of Akron?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. The street they live on is called Mayview, if you know where that is. Let's see. I'm trying to remember. It's like, couldn't tell you, man.
Yeah, There's a college there in Akron City, ACU. But yeah, I know where it's at. I'm about 10 miles north of that, northeast of that. They want to claim us as a suburb, but we keep fighting them.
Yeah, man. It's a weird area. Some parts of it have really gone downhill. That place where my grandparents' house is not too bad yet though. It's like it's over by that King Elementary School kind of.
Yeah, well, they spruced that area up here the last few.
patched out there. You've got some distance, I would imagine, between the homes. So that's a lot different than here. Somebody does something obnoxious here, you know about it.
Not really, Dave. My neighbor to the west, Mike, is a driveway of maybe 50, so he's maybe 70 feet over, and Kevin on the other side is about the same distance. So all our lots are an acre, but then it's all like 160 feet wide, but 450 feet deep, you know. So, you know, the houses are close to each other. So when I get back there in the garage, looking over my back 40 and stuff, you know, they don't mind. In fact, Kevin doesn't mind because they're planting a garden. He wants the groundhogs dead anyway. And but the other thing is, I'm only a block south of City Hall, so in the police station. So it's you know, it's a wonder they haven't stopped by to check out the fireworks.
Yeah, maybe they have other stuff more important to do. Yeah, well, that's good. I'm glad that place there. You know, I know you moved like 3 or 4 years ago, I guess now. This it's all your satisfaction, and you deserve that. I know you're a hard-working person. And you do good stuff. Anyway, love you too, Vito.
Dave, I'm trying like hell. I'm trying like hell to set up the city cam.